they get entrapped. They get caught up in this macho thing. I'm a cop now. It's just our brotherhood. I'm not. No. You just be this person. Try to be the same person you were when you first went in. You know, and just do the right thing and be guided. You're gonna make mistakes. Just don't make the one mistake. It's gonna take your life. That's it. That one mistake, you're out.
Mm-hmm. And don't abuse your power either.
Say again?
And don't abuse your power either.
That's it. Don't abuse it. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Put yourself in that situation. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there was a film I watched in, I think it was in the police academy. They had one cop that he didn't want to get involved. I don't want to do it. A lazy cop. Until he went home and it was a crime that involved his personal family. He wanted to know, why wasn't there a cop there to do the job?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so because apparently there was another cop that was just like him, to do nothing, didn't care. And now it affected him. See? He was a lazy cop, didn't want to do the job, goes home, finds that somebody in his family, whatever it was a robbery, and he started complaining about where were the cops when you needed one.
Mm-hmm.
So what he was doing out there, not doing his job, it affected his family in another way also. It came back to haunt them, in other words. And that's why when I was on the job, I always said, I hope there's another cop like me, or cops that I know, because I work with good cops. No, don't get me, I work with cops that were great. They were, like me as far as getting involved. The thing was, I was a magnet. The magnet is I used to attract. I could be minding my own business. Somebody's running up the block, robbing somebody, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And yet there'll be another cop there, and a crime could be happening a few feet away from them. They don't see it. They don't notice. They don't pick it up. They don't pick it up. But I always said, I hope with my sister, my mother, my father, they're out in the street someplace, and God forbid there's a bad guy out there, you know, ready to attack them or whatever. I hope there's another Joe Sanchez up there on patrol with his eyes and ears open, just looking.
Mm-hmm.
And I always pray to God, Lord, protect my family. I hope there's another guy, a cop out there doing what I'm doing. I never turned my back on. I never said no, whether I had an engagement to go to. You know?
Yeah.
I couldn't. I work with cops. I'm not taking that job. Well, watch Frank Serpicles. If you watch that movie, there's one scene when he's working with a guy. He's a rookie cop, and I know Frank personally. And there's a scene there where there was calls for help, and the cop that's driving it to see the guy because he's a rookie. Let the other sector handle it. What? Frank says, "No, I'm going." He was able. He responded to the job. This black girl was being raped by three fellas.
Mm-hmm.
And how Frank grabbed one guy, and the next day, me and him are alike. The next day, as he's bringing the prisoner, while in the precinct, the prisoner got beat up by the detectives. You know, in those days, that's the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
And Frank, when he's taking the prisoner out the next day to bring him to court, he buys him coffee, he treats him nice. He said, "Look, I didn't do what these guys did to you. You know, and look at give me the two other guys that raped the girl. You know."
Mm-hmm.
He gives him the information. Frank goes in plain clothes, just like I would have, goes to the handball court out in the street and catches the other two first.
Wow.
There are cops like that, and he did it while off duty. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he did it while off duty, but you don't have that many cops. You don't a lot of there's not too many out there like that, and especially nowadays. Why? Because you're going to get in trouble too. Will I be able to do what I did years ago? No, they probably would let me do it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they would let me do it, and but it was in the 70s. Being a cop in the 1970s, you used to want it in the 70s, right? Not the 80s, right?
Yeah, 70s. Well, 70s,
Yeah.
80s, how, maybe like pre-1970 was a lot different than late 1970 and then going into the 80s because the difference in the financial reasons, how the economy changed so much.
Right, like I said, in the 70s, 80s, it was you had more protection. Even though the MAP Commission came in to get it, cops. It was. I enjoyed it. I loved the job.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the job, but it's tough being uptown. They'll lock you up for anything nowadays. They'll fire you.
Mm-hmm.
Am I exaggerating or what?
No.
They don't protect you like they used to. You know, whether you're right or wrong, they don't protect you.
Also, I have a question about the Son of Sam killings. What was your experience with that?
I was working the Creole when I went down. I was always hoping, I'd be driving with my partner, Susie Medici, the first woman to win the combat club. We'd be driving around, and at 4:12 to us, man, I hope we run into this guy. If he's going to do something, we go into not the end of the park, but we went 3-0. There's a certain park we used to drive through, and Lover's Lane, And I used to say, man, I would say, man, I hope this guy's around. See, I hope this guy's around. Maybe we can make a collar. But no, during those, I remember. Yeah, it was a lucky break. You know how they got him, right? It was a lucky break.
It was a parking ticket.
Yeah, parking ticket. They were smart enough to say, "Hey, check out the parking tickets." Right after that shooting, before the shooting, and of course they started checking plates, and boom, this plate came onto the guy in the Bronx. He worked for the post office.
Yeah.
And they got a lucky break to that on that, But your question was, how did I as a cop feel about it?
Well, what was your experience with that, and what were the people's reaction to that? A lot of people are afraid to leave their house during that time.
Well, not just leave the house, and especially he was attacking in a certain area too, And this wasn't in a ghetto area. He was going into nice areas, He was going into Italian area sections, and he wasn't coming to Washington Heights. I mean, he was hanging around certain Lover's Lanes area, or certain areas in the good neighborhoods when he was committing this crime. As far as I know, they were good neighborhoods. And there was fear, of course. I mean, it was a big thing back in the 70s. But nowadays, hey, forget it, there was crimes than what he was doing. Look what's happening now.
Yeah.
But personally, as a cop, I used to say, I wish this guy would come in this area. I'd like to find him. People in that section were afraid. Definitely, they were in fear. As far as me working in the ghetto area, that guy coming in the ghetto area, there was no fear. People had enough, but this happened in the good sections. If you read upon him, read whatever he was actually shooting these young people at.
Yeah, I read up on him a little bit, and I know he hit up not just, he didn't really just stay in one borough. He would switch it up too.
Right, but if you, like I said, it was, from what I know, there were good areas.
Yeah.
He wasn't coming up to Harlem to do that, or Spanish Harlem.
No, not at all. He wasn't staying. He wasn't around there.
No. He knew better because he was a coward to begin with. He was a coward, and he would walk. I know he shot one girl. She was walking down the block, not too far from our house. I believe he shot her in the face. But he would just sneak up on them when they were making, a young couple making out in a nice quiet area, and he'd open up on them. But, there was fear in those days, But as far as fear from the people where I work, or where I said I was working in Washington Heights, nah. I never ran into anybody who was telling me, man, we got to be careful because there was a cycle going around shooting people, There was a come in this area. So, a little information I'm trying to give you, This guy knew where to go. He shot people in good areas. If he came into Washington Heights and opened up, the problem was a lot of Washington Heights people had guns themselves on the street.
Yeah, so they would retaliate right there.
He's in his ass, He would do it quietly in an area where he felt he can shoot. Boom, it's dead around here. It's quiet. I can get away with it, and he did for a while. But that's all I know about the Son of Sam.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question?
I don't have anything else. If you think that's it, then I think we should be done.
Well, yeah. It's, like I said, if you can check out Prison City as far as corruption in the NYPD back in 1970, when a lot of the special units, SIU was called, SIU, Special Narcotics Unit, they were busting a lot of South Americans coming in. There's a lot of money. They get the information. They had illegal wiretaps. They were listening to, hey man, and then like I said, mostly it was Italians and Irish that were running it. You're lucky if you had one Latino working there, but I think they had one.